We're discussing the bros with the passports. A lot of people online upset about this movement and what it represents. Are Western women non-traditional? Are you going overseas to find a wife or loose women? You're now listening to the No Pills Podcast, your best resource for cultivating meaningful, healthy, long-lasting, romantic relationships that bloom into strong marriages. Welcome to No Pills. Welcome to No Pills. Love fully scripted. We back. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're back here with me, your man, G-Man, Brother Gordon. Let's get it, friends. Today, passport bros. Yeah. We're discussing the bros with the passports. A lot of people upset online about these brothers. A lot of people online upset about this movement and what it represents. We're going to get into that today. We're going to unpack that to a lesser or greater degree, and hopefully it will be thought-provoking, entertaining, and just, maybe it'll even get on your nerves a little bit or make you rethink what you're thinking. But before we do that, today we've got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of, okay? A little bit of housekeeping, friends. Let me tell you something. This is No Pills with a Z, okay? You can see it everywhere. Right there, no pill. Right here, no pills. Right here, no pills. All over the place. Some of us don't know what that means. I've gotten into my comments, I asked a question, get some feedback, interacting with the audience. Love to do so. But I had a brother in my comments not too long ago telling me what this podcast represents and what it was, that it was blue pill. Brother, no pills, okay? Not red pill, not blue pills. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there is a left-leaning thought process in the relationship sphere that it has been titled blue pill. And then there's a supposedly more conservative, right-leaning idea about dating, which is called the red pill space, sometimes the manosphere, etc. Listen, the podcast is called No Pill. Why is that? Because we believe in the owner's manual over here at No Pills. Let me be clear for everybody, because I hope I don't have to address this again. We believe that our relationships are vehicles, and they come with owner's manuals from the manufacturer. God is the manufacturer. Talk to me. The Bible is the owner's manual, and the relationship is the vehicle. We're not down with any red pill or any blue pill ideology. While there may be some ideas, maybe stemming from both parties, that make some sense practically because they agree with the Bible, that is as far as we go. Over here, God is in control. We are following God's lead. We want to have actually successful, healthy relationships. Talk to me. So don't get into my comment section because I don't agree with some aspect of your red pill ideology or your blue pill ideology that you want to label us as some type of blue or red pill. One more again, this is No Pills. We doing it God's way, not man's way. People in the blue, listen, let me be clear. People in the blue space, sinners. People in the red space, sinners. The whole one of the driving forces for this podcast was the fact that I said, man, all these young people out here in this generation, they're going to be lost if they're listening to this, I want to be kind, this uninformed, unimpacted, devoid of godly counsel on dating and relationships that they can find online. It's suicide. Some of the worst pieces of it, the worst part of the content is those pieces that are kind of laced with God, right? And I'm talking about more in the red pill space, where it's kind of like, well, we kind of sprinkle in God when it's convenient, and then we step away from God when it's not convenient. So we want to have these traditional ideologies on our relationship dating when it benefits us, but then when it doesn't benefit us, we just start sinning. We just practice immorality. We cheat, etc. And now we're going to say that God's okay with that and God is co-signing that. Man, get out of here. Welcome to No Pills, friends. This is not a blue pill space, red pill space. This is God's space. You dig me? He is the one that has all the right answers. Everything else is foolishness. Feel some type of way about it. Be mad. Be angry. I could care less. I'm only going to give you the truth. That's it. This ain't a trend, beloved. It's the truth. Okay? This is you see, some of y'all don't know me on my other platform. You see, y'all don't know how I get down over at Go Stand and Preach. But we're over here in the relationship space, trying to stay cool, trying to stay level-headed. But I want to be clear on what you're gonna get when you come to No Pills. It's sola scriptura over here, friends. If you don't like it, you can scroll on by. If it offends you and steps on your toes, what do you want me to tell you? Up is up, down is down. Love is love. We can't go around here changing how God has set up relationships. All right. Hopefully that's clear. And I love the fact that you're here. Listen, I love the feedback. I love the input. But let's just not mislabel what we got going on over here. You know what I mean? Don't try to put us in the box, put me in the box and tell me who we are and what we represent and what we do. No. We're on God's time. We on God's plan. We're reading from the owner's manual. You dig me? Welcome to No Pills. No blue pills, no red pills, no pills. Love fully scripted. Let's be clear, friends. Let's be clear. All right. What is a passport bro? Okay. So for those who may not know, maybe some of my audience who doesn't, like, what, brother, what is he talking about? So passport bros are predominantly North American men who believe through their own personal experience that they are running into North American westernized women that are just feminists, that are just non-traditional, not willing to submit in a relationship. And they say, hey, you know what? We have to leave the Western hemisphere and we've got to go to other parts of the world with our passports and find us some traditional women to marry. This is what it means to be a passport bro, that you're leaving the Western world for the most part, definitely the United States of America for sure, and you're going just about anywhere else to find yourself submissive, fit, friendly, kind, traditional woman who does not disagree with a man being the head of the relationship. And this has been driven by supposed numerous encounters with non-traditional women in the West that they deem as deplorable, ungodly, unholy, lack of self-respect. And the list goes on and goes on, all right? Every coin has two sides. Let's just be clear about that. There's always two sides to every story. You know, really three sides: your side, their side, and the truth. Okay, let's keep that in mind. With that being said, let me just add this in. Now, you might be asking yourself, where are the passport bros finding these wives? Okay, where are they finding these wives? Well, you get online, do a little search, and you'll run into something like this: top 10 best countries to find a great wife. Philippines, Colombia, Vietnam, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Indonesia, Thailand, China, Brazil, and Russia. Okay, that was one list I found. All right, online. This is where the passport bros are going. So let's just cover this first topic. Let's get this first question out of the way. Well, here's the first question you and I should be asking ourselves. Are the passport bros right? Are they correct? Are Western women non-traditional? Do they not want to be led? Do they not want to submit to a man? Are they under the bad influences of toxic feminism? Are they right, friends? Now, here's the thing. There are a bunch of women online that are totally upset with this idea of passport bros. I don't know if they feel personally attacked. These are usually Western women. I don't know if they feel like you're saying that every woman around the globe is better than us, and maybe that's why they're in their feelings about it. But they're definitely upset that brothers are going overseas to find women and are posting it online and maybe making them feel bad or look bad to the rest of the world. They're mad about a man wanting a wife with a low body count or who is a virgin. And let me give that some context. Some of the women are mad about this because it's like, well, how dare you require a female to have a low body count if you don't have a low body count? You know, touche. I think that one could argue that's a good counter, to that type of thought process or ideology or requirement for your relationships. But, it is what it is. I'm just trying to give you the full context of, women being a little bit upset with the idea of you requiring a low body count. My thought is, yeah, I think that makes some sense to me. If I have a low body count, I probably want somebody else with a low body count. If I'm a virgin, I probably want a virgin. If I've got, a high body count, I'll probably be all right with somebody with a high body count. In theory, that should all work the same. But listen, when you get into this space, the back and forth over this topic, we got all different type of rationales that say like, well, a woman's not a man is not a woman, it's different, blah, blah, blah. Listen, let me tell you something, friends. From the owner's manual, sin is sin. If a man is a fornicator, a woman is a fornicator, actively, they don't repent, neither one of them enter into the kingdom. This is why it's no pills. This is why it's not a red pill space or a blue pill space. We're saying what God is saying, right? So if someone wants to run you a lie and go like, well, it's different for a man than it is for a woman, or it's different for a woman than it is for a man. Wrong answer, beloved. Sin is sin. Keep you out of the kingdom. Keep you out of the resurrection. Let's just be real about it, all right? And, there's some trigger words out there. Submitting, obeying, authority, being quiet, being led, cooperation. These are words that trigger, some of the females out there. And then men are like, well, high body count, has a baby, a single mother, wants to be independent. Trigger. Everyone's going crazy, all right? But if we're honest, Western civilization does not promote or encourage women to be traditional. We're actually going in the opposite direction. So I think that observation from the passport bros is correct. I think that's correct. Not all women in the West are this way. I don't even have numbers to tell you. Does it feel like 50%? Does it feel like 50% or more? I don't know. But I definitely know it's true that there are women in the West that are not down with any traditional roles, okay? So that observation is correct from the passport bros, but is their solution correct? Is what we really got to ask ourselves. Is their solution correct, okay? But before we unpack the solution, before we answer the question, is their solution correct, or dive into their solution, it doesn't make sense to go overseas to find a wife, a relationship. Why are women in the West non-traditional, or some women in the West non-traditional? Because I want to make sure I emphasize some, because it's not everybody, right? Some. Even if you believe it's a greater portion, it's still not all. Okay, it's still not all. But why is that the case though? Broken homes. Broken homes. This is one of the main cases. Fatherless homes, broken homes. Like this, you're coming from a non-traditional foundation now. Why would you have traditional outputs? Right? Why if your root is non-traditional, why would your fruit be traditional? Is what I'm saying. Okay? So first thing, you got to realize that they're coming from broken homes, okay? Male and female alike coming from broken homes. Feminism has been pushed in textbooks, in classes, in media, absolutely. False education, right? All coming through. And listen, to the point where you can find a woman in the West who doesn't want to be a mother, who doesn't want to be married, who doesn't want to be a homemaker, period. Just wants to make money. That's it. What's another reason? Here's another reason I believe that women are leaning the way they're leaning. Men are effeminate. 2024, and it's been going on for a while. Men are effeminate, Either they're absent or they're effeminate. And it's like, well then, yeah, there's going to be a natural, well, we gotta fill in the space. We gotta do some backfilling. This is why you get online and you hear these women talking about, oh, I gotta be in my masculine energy. Then you're not a woman, friends. Then you're not a woman. If you gotta be in masculine, women don't have masculine energy, period. I know some of you don't want to hear this right now. If you're a woman, you're talking about you have masculine energy, you're a man then. It's crazy. That's wild. That's wild, okay? That's just crazy to me. But men are effeminate, okay? Men are effeminate. Another reason. They have bad experiences with men. And gossip travels the fastest, right? So if a woman has a bad experience with a man, beginning right at her foundation with her father, especially if her father has abandoned her, right? Left her for drugs, alcohol, or another woman, right? Let's say that's been that young woman's experience. How does she feel towards men now going forward? Not going to trust them, beloved, because the men have fallen down. The fathers have fallen down at their post. Now, of course, I'm not saying this is every scenario. Yes, someone in the red pill space, I can hear them now arguing, but hey, men don't divorce women, so therefore, it's women's fault. And listen, there's equal accountability here. All right? Just because you don't leave a woman or a marriage doesn't mean you're being respectful. It's not conducive to love. Doesn't mean you're not cheating or abusing them, etc. And so if a woman is filing for divorce for those reasons, we're having a different discussion. But that's not the majority of why people are filing for divorce. Like the majority reason that people are filing for divorce is just like because it's like we're just incompatible, just not being happy. It's foolishness. So I get it. But what I'm saying is one bad apple spoils the bunch. That experience that certain women have had, that gets just kind of spread around in the community. And it's like, man, I don't want to be abandoned. I don't trust a man. My mother was being beat. I had a girlfriend that was being beat, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, you know what? I'm better off just having my own. As the weaker sex, I'm just saying physically, right? Physically, right? We're talking about genetics now, friends. I'll just go, I'll go on my own. So I think that has just like been like a cancer, a mold that has grown. Like I think even if you haven't had that experience yourself personally, the fear of potentially having that experience, even if you haven't had the experience, just the fear of that could drive you down the path of, I want to be an independent woman. Not to mention all the garbage you're listening to in popular music and culture and YouTube, and it's terrible, right? We're just discussing the reasons, some of the reasons why we may find the women in the West to be non-traditional. Being cheated on, man. Being cheated on. Women like, yo, man, I'm tired of this, man. Getting cheated on all the time, man. I'm done. We can argue. We can make the argument, well, why are you selecting men that cheat on you, okay? Like this argument comes out of the red space. Well, stop selecting bad men. Okay, but the supposedly good men that are termed, quote unquote, hated, high value man. Listen, either you're a man or you're not. This high value thing, for the sake of the conversation, a high value man is literally online, a self-proclaiming, or self-hinting, implying I'm a high value man, is saying, hey, I'm going to cheat on you anyway, just so you know. I got a bunch of money now. I've done well for myself. That makes me high value. I'm fit, and now I'm going to cheat on you. And then we're mad if a woman's like, yo, I'm just going to get the bag. I'm just going to be money hungry. I'm just going to, literally, females are online saying, like, you know what? I would rather have a lot of money and being cheated on than be broke and be cheated on. Listen, man, real men don't cheat, okay? Real men don't cheat. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. Per the owner's manual. For this cause shall a man cleave to his wife, one husband. That is God's ideal. Everything else that happened after that was sin. Get some. It's the truth, friends. Let's talk about it. For those women who did have a situation where they saw their mom be abandoned, not have money, they're like, never gonna happen to me. Okay, never gonna happen to me. All right. And then also in those homes where they did have bad role models from their moms who did just divorce the father for no reason, who did was just money. Like, so if they had bad female tendencies and independence and feminism modeled to them, that's another reason that they're coming from that space. Okay, so there's another reason. Now, here's the thing. We've got to recognize that there is a temptation. There is a temptation to get involved in sex work as a woman making money. There are other women are encouraging other women like, hey, I'm making a bunch of money doing sex work, blah, blah, blah. And we can all say, well, man, that's terrible. Like, why would you be tempted to do that? Friends, I liken that to the same reason or the same temptation that goes on in low, impoverished neighborhoods and areas and communities where you're selling drugs back to your own community, to your own parents, your own siblings, friends, mothers, brothers, sisters, destroying them just so you can get money and get the bag and come up. To me, it's just about equal. We're like, oh man, how could this woman not have any morals and standards and self-esteem and love of herself, blah, blah, blah. She's going to sell her body, blah, blah, blah. I agree. That's terrible. But in the same hand, it's like we've seen it in other areas in our community where it's like, yo, you're a drug dealer selling, crack cocaine to your people in your own neighborhood. And then we'll go make songs about it and music, popularize it, and make money. Same things happen in the sex industry. We're like, yeah, well, I'm going to destroy homes. I'm going to be a home wrecker. I'm going to give my body away. I'm going to increase debased passion and action, and then we're going to put it online for everyone to consume it, and we're all going to make money. It's the same thing, friends. Same thing. It's like, we got to handle all sin. We have to deal with all wrong, all immorality. Immorality is not sustainable, friends. I'm just covering the reasons why this is going on. There's no fear of God, friends. This is what I'm saying. We've gotten away from the owner's manual. There's non-traditional women because there's non-traditional men. There's non-traditional homes, and we've gotten away from the owner's manual. And now we're doing it our way, and it's out of control. This is why. I think it's just important for us to have a real discussion about some of the reasons of why we see what we're seeing in our communities between men and women. And I just want to say this. We do this blame game thing. It's men's fault. It's women's fault. I just wish everyone would take accountability for their own actions. Friends, you're never forced to sin. You're never forced to do something immoral. You can choose rather to die than to do something sinful, something immoral, right? You can choose to starve to death versus steal, right? You can choose to do without. Someone could put a gun to your head and you can still say no. Like, your will cannot, you can choose to die before you sin. And that's the space we've got to be in. So I just need everybody to take accountability for their own actions and stop blaming somebody else for what you have chosen to do. The only people that don't fall into this category are those who I would say have been abused as a child, essayed, etc., right? Where their will was overwritten by an adult. And now they've created these habits and things that they need supernatural deliverance from. But if that's not your story, if that's not your case, then please stop blaming everybody else for your actions. It's crazy to me. That's crazy, all right? I've got a few questions for the Passport Bro movement, okay? Got a few questions, few thoughts coming across my mind for the Passport Bro movement, all right? Are you going overseas to find a wife or loose women? And here's why I'm saying that. A lot of the times, the countries that are being listed as ideal places to go find a wife, they're like countries known for prostitution. Like, they're known for Americans coming over there and like dumping a ton of money into the sex trade over there. When you go to these countries, are you going to families' homes? Do you speak the language? Like, what's really going on there? Like, I just question, like, just a sincere, honest question. Like, are you going there just for fornication, or are you really going there to find a wife? And then how do you have more trust the overseas woman who you don't know the culture, right? While there's still maybe a stronger, right, traditional overtone and maybe even undertone, overtone, like it's still encapsulated in tradition to some degree. It's like, man, evil still goes on in these places, is what I'm trying to say. Like, evil still goes on in these countries. Like, does body count still matter over there, overseas? And then how are you verifying and vetting that body count? So let me just make this practical. You meet a young woman or a woman overseas, and she tells you, oh, her body count is 1. How do you know that, beloved? How do you vet that out? You don't know anybody in her community. It's not like you grew up with her in high school. There's nobody, she doesn't have an online social media presence potentially. Like, I think I would be able to do more research if this was really a sticking point for me. I would be able to probably do more research here in the West than I would overseas. I'm just saying, like, these are just some things that we're unpacking right now. Do the Passport Bros have the right solution? Is this the solution? So these are the questions I'm having for the solution or towards the solution. Like, okay, so you're saying going overseas is the solution, with the Western women being influenced and brainwashed to be non-traditional. And so that solution is to go overseas and get you a woman that's more traditional overseas, or that is still traditional. What I'm saying is, to that solution, are you really going overseas to find a wife, or are you going overseas to just have sex? And that's really a question that only you can answer, right? That only you can answer. I mean, between you and God. I mean, who knows, right? Only you know. But in these countries where there's a huge sex industry, like, I don't know if I'm trying to run to a country where I know this, I can meet you, you potentially was a prostitute 5 days ago. Or still, I'm just saying, this is a common sense thing that I'm thinking, like, okay. Are women overseas just as money hungry or more money hungry than women in the West? Like, this is a real question I have. I was in Africa. I went over to Africa for a mission trip, for some mission work. I was only there for like a week. I was in Kenya, and I had a female or two there, nice Kenyan ladies, young ladies. I was a little younger then, that were like trying to get back to Africa, man. Trying to get from Africa to America. Wanted me to take them. I was only there for a week, okay? Batting the eyes at me, pretty, smiling. Married. I was married, by the way. This is before my wife passed away. Batting the eyes, pretty. She was definitely traditional. I'm sure she was accustomed to washing clothes by hand, cooking food, meals, whatever, traditional young person there in Kenya, but was definitely just trying to get the ticket to the United States. Like, didn't know me, didn't love me. I'm just saying, is this solution a valid solution? I have questions. It's just my personal experience there for a week. Like, she probably would have shacked up with me. 1 or 2. I could have brought back 2 or 3 with me. Just fine. Would there have been any loyalty to me? I'm just a plane ticket out of the... Come on, man. Just saying. Do we have any facts that prove, any data that shows that, oh yeah, women overseas are not going to be in it just for the money or just for the passport or just for the green card? Just saying. I'm just saying. Like, could it be even more complicated to find, right, a traditional woman overseas because of the language barrier, the cultural differences, the being unsure if they're in it for love or if they're in it for the green card, for the plane ticket, for the money, thinking, listen, everybody in Kenya, when I was there, thought that they thought I was a millionaire. You know, we got running, you know, they thought like, they think every person in America is loaded. And to some degree, in contrast and comparison, I can see how one might think that our poorest of poor live better than third world country folks. I get it. Our drug addicts, crackheads in the street are doing better than people overseas. But I'm just saying their understanding and perception of us is even incorrect. And let's be honest, a lot of the world hates America, like straight up. They do not respect us as a nation. So if you're on your pass, bro, and this is a warning, all right? This is kind of really a warning. And so if you're on your passport, bro, you know, mission, just be aware that, yo, man, people they don't like us, man. They don't like us. Like, so I would think my antenna would be up like, man, mess around, find a female over here. She gonna try to take advantage of me, not gonna respect me just because I'm American. Just my thoughts, friends. I just don't know. This is some questions, common sense to the solution, you know? This is probably a point that we don't like to accept. If you're looking for a traditional wife, that implies you are going to be, and you are a traditional man. The real traditional man, the first Adam, not cheating, beloved, not cheating, okay? You're talking about wanting your wife to be full-time in the home, cooking, cleaning, bearing children, being a support system for you, a helpmeet. She should also be industrious. She also should know how to handle finances. She should know how to invest. Proverbs 31 type woman. Another podcast, forgot the episode number. Maybe I'll throw it in here at the screen. Go back and watch that. But you have to be a traditional man, a man that she feels safe with, secure with, she can trust. Not going to abuse her, cheat on her, talk down to her, communicate with her. Have walks. Just saying. If not, you can just go hire a maid, beloved. You know what I mean? Go hire a maid. Traditional men should be looking for traditional women. Non-traditional men should be looking for non-traditional women. That's what I'm saying. Other thing, there's all this fear of divorce, and I listen, I agree with the whole state involvement in marriage here in the States is terrible. Like, the courts should never have been involved in marriage. It should have been something left only to the churches, to religious organizations, not to state organizations or entities. Is there more guarantee that a foreign woman is not going to divorce you? I haven't seen the data. I probably should look it up before this. I mean, is there someone in the comment section? Let me know somewhere in one of the chats. Is a foreign woman just not going to divorce you? Get here, get settled in, get it all locked in, and do the same thing that a Western woman you believe is going to do to you? Is this a valid solution? A viable solution is the question I'm having for the Passport Bro movement. Is it a practical, viable, sustainable solution? How much risk mitigation is really going on dating someone overseas? Because here's what I want to submit to you. A thief is a thief on every continent, no matter what language they speak. A murderer is a murderer on every continent. A liar is a liar on every continent, no matter where they live on planet Earth. If you're a liar, you're just a liar, and you need to be converted. So if If you're independent, you're independent. If you're going to be crooked and have a bad, more like speaking a different language or being more traditional doesn't mean that you are not a fallen human being that needs to be saved, that needs a new heart. So just FYI, man, if you think that if this is false idea that you're going to go overseas and find a woman who's not a sinner, who's telling you that lie? She could still be impatient. She could still not know how to listen. I'm just saying, God needs to be involved in who you marry. You need to be praying about that thing, man. We've covered that too already. You got to be praying about that thing, letting God lead you and not thinking like, oh, I found a solution because I'm going to another country. Don't know, friends. Don't know. Now, one of the things that you'll see happen that I'll run into is that out of the frustration of what's going on in the dating market currently, there's this whole who needs who type thing, okay? Who needs who type thing. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Men don't need women. Women don't need men. I don't know who's believing this. I don't know who started that. The devil did. The devil did. The devil has started that. And here's why I am just ardently rejecting that nonsense. Because God said, it is not good that man should be alone. And women and men today are saying, oh, it's good for me to be alone. No, it's not. Because then you run around fornicating all day. Now you're having sex outside of marriage. Now you're having babies with no husbands. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. Do it God's way, man. And stop all the pain and misery that you're enduring being prideful, being lifted up. Oh, it's my way. No, we don't need a man. I don't need a man. No, listen. There are other wicked men on planet Earth. You need good men to protect you from the wicked men. You need good women to protect you from the wicked women. What I mean by that is you need to be locked in and married to a good woman so you're not married to a wicked woman. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. That just drives because I know my skin. Like, what are we doing? God said it is not good that man should be alone. So all this nonsense about we don't need one another, man, throw that in the trash, man. Put that in the trash can. Okay? One of the goals over here at No Pills, and we are desiring to do more of this here. One of the initial thoughts and goals I had when creating this podcast was that I would be able to set before you healthy relationships. Okay? I want to be able to set before the audience, the listener, those watching online, YouTube, wherever, healthy relationships. Because all you see online is all this complaining. Oh, men this, women that, he's no good, she's no good, women that, all this tearing each other down. And you would think, if you just looked online, that it's over. There are no good relationships, marriages to be had anywhere on the whole entire globe. And now we're going overseas to try to find them. No, beloved, stop. There are people like myself, got married in their early 20s and remained married 10, 20 years and doing just fine. Okay? By God's grace and by the mercy of God, because if I came to Jesus, I would have still been married today. I believe only by the grace of God. No to myself, because it can get hard, beloved. To my beautiful wife, had she not passed away. I was 22 when I got married, friends. Okay, went on to be married for almost 18 years together, almost 20 years. I got friends married 20, 30, 40 years, old people 50, like it's happening, okay? It's happening, it's real. People, young people still believe in marriage, still getting it done. And I think we need to highlight and ask those people, like, why are we asking people that are broken? Well, it's not broken. Why are we looking to a community of a bunch of failed relationships and then asking these people and taking advice from these individuals with failed relationships? Like abundant, like just like, not just failed relationship. You could fail at something and then learn from it and then be able to give us some, but like you're continuing to fail. Like you're on your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th relationship, 3rd, 4th, 5th marriage. And it's like, you're not with anybody. You got a person you're with now and you're cheating on them. Why are we taking advice from you? Tell me, why would I trust you? Taking advice from you is going to leave me divorced, going to leave me unhappy. This is just common sense stuff, beloved. Welcome to No Pills. We trying to do something different over here. Okay, do something completely different from what's going on in the mainstream and get people back to the owner's manual. Marriages where I want to set before you marriages where everyone in the marriage is happy with their gender roles. They're raising godly children, not following the norm, not trying to be a Kardashian, not trying to be the next top model, not trying to be this billionaire seer, just wanting to live a quiet, peaceable, godly life, do right by their family. These are the individuals that I would like to set before you on this podcast. Beloved, this is what we need. We need to get back to the owner's manual so we can stop taking on all this hurt, pain, and trauma. I'm Gordon McGee. This is No Pills, Love Fully Scripted. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you next week. Love y'all.